Hello, welcome to Scratch 3D Printing. In this video, I finally got it, the K1 series CFS upgrade accessory kit. Let's scratch today's project. Ever since Creality announced this kit for the K1 series, I have always wanted one of these kits. Every single time I seen a post online about people getting this kit, I went straight to Creality's store, but it's always out of stock and it's not available for pre-order. But I keep sourcing out and I finally got one. I got this off of Amazon. I'll leave a link down below. So if you want one of these kits, you can go ahead and get it for yourself. But enough of that, let's just unbox this and put it to the K1 Max and see how it works. Oh, by the way, right down there, and I bought another CFS for the K1 Max. I was thinking of using the K2 Plus, but might as well just get another one. So yeah, let's just unbox this. I've been waiting forever together. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so let me show you what you'll be getting if you buy this kit from Creality. Quick installation guide, PTFE tube, hopper, fixed block, the power cable, a box of accessories, which includes a USB, the firmware for your K1 series 3D printer. And in this box, you get the extruder kit, Z-axis motor cover, the cutter block, some screwdrivers, cable chain mounting sheet metal, a double-ended fitting, screw rod cover for left and right, extruder motor cover, a USB 485 cable for your K1 Max, and a CFS. They call it a neck stripe. It's a silicone nozzle wiper, some double-sided 3M tape, and lead screw cover. There's two in here, I believe. One long one and one short one for the K1 and the K1 Max. You get two, one short, one long. And here we go, the CFS. I'm just gonna open this quickly. So for this, you get this. You get screws, you get tube, you get connection, you get cables, everything in this package right here. Look at that. Okay, let's get this into the K1 Max. Okay, first of all, we need to turn on the 3D printer. Now that the 3D printer is on, we need to retract and get rid of the filament inside the 3D printer. So let's retract right now. Whoa, I didn't realize that the CFS come with a rubber air blower. Wow, this is very interesting. I did not know that they include this now. It's cool. So now we can blow filament out of the CFS, which is amazing. Oh, and for the CFS, don't forget to take these out so that it will absorb moisture. Okay, so now that it has retracted everything. Okay, so before we continue on this, I have modified my K1 Max a little bit by printing this lid extension and drill a hole right here so that I can connect my tube from this filament dryer and go inside there, use the same old filament detector right there so that I don't have to remove the lid and put this onto the side because I don't have room here. It's only a little teeny tiny table. So I did this modification and I hope I can put the CFS on top of here and not get rid of the lid, because I see that if you use this, you need to get rid of the lid so that you can have the tube directly connected to your filament sensor in there. So let's see how this goes. Now we can turn off the 3D printer. Now we have to remove this. If you have a LiDAR, remove the LiDAR and then remove the cover here because we need to install stuff onto the printhead. So use the Allen wrench that comes with the kit. So let's remove the LiDAR first. Now we can unplug the LiDAR from this side here. Make sure you don't lose your screws. Now we need to remove this screw right here and one from the other side. Now we can remove this cover. There's the cable in there. You want to remove this cable first. That's why you need to be careful and not just yank it out. Now that that's done, we need to remove the extruder. Extruder has 1, 2, 3 screws. Okay, we got all 3 screws out. Now we can take out the extruder, but don't fully disassemble it. We just need to loosen the extruder like that. And now we need to remove this screw right here and this screw right here. Get rid of this front cover. I stripped this thread right here, so now I'm using a nut to lock from behind here. This should just, nope, that's not what you want. You want to get rid of everything here. You need to keep the motor, get rid of this front cover, and even this middle piece right here. Tube didn't come off, just leave it. But if it did come off, just put it back in there. There should be a hole and you can just stick it in there like that. Now we need the extruder kit. So it looks like this. Also has screws. So you don't need to use your old screw, which is really good. This one has two cable. This cable right here and this cable. So you need to connect this to the motherboard down there. But let's take a look at this. Man, it looks really cool. I think it might just be like the original one, but still really cool. Look at that. It's spinning. You can see it. I like it. So now let's install this. You don't need the yellow gasket earlier, so we can just put this straight in like that. Line it up and then just screw it in. Just line it up and screw it in. Maybe this does not need the tube because the hole down here is like super small. It fits the filament perfectly. It does not fit the tube here. So maybe the newer version of the K1 Max or the K1 series does not use a tube like this anymore. So if you have this, I guess just put it away and just install this because it sits flush in there. Okay, now that we got this new extrude in there, we're gonna have to route these wires down here. So for the collar wire, route it down here through the motherboard behind here to the other side. So route it through up here and it's gonna go in here. It's gonna go in this right here. Okay, there you go. I need to use two hands in order to get that in. So one of these is the filament cutter and the other one is the filament sensor. The other one will go right there. That one does not have anything in there, so the black one is gonna go right in there. There we go. Make sure it's all pressed in very nicely, tightly. And now that we got that in, we can just wrap it under here. There should be like something under here. You can just wrap it around there. And voila, we are finished with this extruder here. So now we can just cover this up and we are good to go. Get your extruder motor cover. We can just cover it just like that. Look at that. Plug it in the fan, make sure it's in there, and just put your cover back. Now that we got the print head and everything installed, next is remove this. Well, usually it's down here for you, but for me, I have it up here, so I'm gonna remove this. There should be screws here, but I just double-sided tape mine to this. Man, they advertise that you can pull these, but you can't never pull these off. It just ripped apart and you just gotta take it off little bit by little bit. We need to install double-ended fitting. Here, where we remove it, there should be a screw on the other side. So there's two screws with this coupler. We want this one, the one with more thread. For these two screws, I think we can do either one, but I'm gonna do this one. We can straighten that out, just like that. So now, I'm gonna take out the PTFE tube. There's two one. One is longer, so I think I'm gonna be using the longer one to connect this to the print head. Let's connect this. And then later on, we're gonna be connecting this to the print head. But in my case, I got this pre-drill hole right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this through here, so then I can still have the lid on my K1 Max, or maybe you can go through this original hole right here. But the reason why I don't like this one is that it has too much curvature in there, so it basically curves like 90 degrees two times like that. It's very hard for the filament to go smoothly. That's why I drill the hole up here, and hopefully this will work. So now it's time for the block. But if you look very closely in there, you can see that that's A and that's B. For the K1 Max, it's B, not A. We need to remove these two screws on the left side here and loosen these two on the right side here. Okay, we've done that. Remove the left one, loosen the right one. Once we remove that, we're going to be using the block B right here and install it and just put the two screws back in with this. Not going to be the best angle, but you just put it. Now that we have that done, it's time to install the lead screw cover. We need to go from the inside out. So this clip here, it's gonna clip down there. I can't see it, but I'm just gonna have to do it like this. Then put it like that. It should just fit perfectly. Now we need the Z-axis motor cover. Cover this motor so that nothing gets in there. By doing like this, the hole should be pointing with this so that you can screw it in. There we go. I guess this thing just sit like this. Still a little bit wobbly, but it's sitting in there. Now it's time for this, the hopper and hopper fixed block. But for the hopper fixed block here, you should be getting 2 screws and 2 pieces of this. One is A and one is B. We are using B for the K1 Max. The letters are located in there. So that's B and that is A. We are using B. And of course, the hopper, which is this piece right here, that has a spring and a long screw. To install this, we use the hopper piece, put the spring in here. There should be a really nice place for the spring to sit. Just like that, clip it in, and the spring should be doing that. And these 2 pieces should just connect well together. You can see that there's a hole right here and the hole on the other side, and there's a hole in the middle right there. So you just line this up like that, so it's gonna flip, and you just need to push the spring inside there, just like that. And now we can use a screw, and so align everything, hold it tightly, and then put the screw in there. And once the screw is in there, this thing should just work flawlessly. Now we need to tighten the screw. Now we're going to come back to this hopper fixed blocks, and we need these 2 screws here. The hopper here is going to sit like this. So these 2 holes here, we're going to put the screw in there, just like that. One more for the other one, just like that. We're going to sit this in just like that. And now we can screw those 2 screws in. Okay, so this piece has to fit in like that, as you saw there. So there's like a clip here. You need to push this in there so that it's actually sturdy. That was my mistake. Now we can put this in there, and it's gonna fit very tightly. Now we can just screw it in. There we go. This can now kick. Whoa, look at that. It's so cool. We're gonna be sticking this onto the K1 Max, and it's like right here on the left side of the screw, somewhere right there. So let's place it here. Now it's time to install screw, rod, cover, left and right. So you put this onto the rod first, like this, and you twist it back, and then kind of force it in there, like that, and then clip it, and just push all the way down, just like that. Do the same thing for the other side, like that, twist it, push it through, make sure it's clipped in, like that, just push all the way down. We are good to go. Now that we have all of that done, it's time to install this. Put it back here on the K1 Max. Okay, so this is my setup right now. I don't know, it looks kind of weird, but hopefully it works. So it's gonna come here, into here, and then do like a 90-degree angle curve right there. And then it's gonna go into the extruder. Hopefully, I feel like the only part that has tension is this part right here. But in order to have the lid on, now it's time to power on the K1 Max. But before we do that, I need to insert the USB drive in here. We need the USB drive, and then we can now power on the K1 Max. Latest version is 2.3.5.33. That's upgrade. Okay, there we go. It has finished updating. Now we just gotta go through all of this. Okay, now we're gonna do the self test. It's gonna do everything. Okay, so now we need to move the print head so that it's aligned with the purge back there. So I'm gonna move it back and do tiny steps. And I think that looks pretty good. Huh? Yeah, that seems like the maximum amount, and it seems pretty good. So I'm gonna click save. So now that we are done with all the installation, I'm gonna put the CFS up here and then start doing a print. So we're gonna use this cable to connect to the CFS and the buffering. And now it's time for the USB 485 cable to be connected. Remove the USB drive, and it comes with one of these 3D printed, so that if it breaks, you can just print it again. So it's gonna go in like this, protect the USB. Let's remove this double-sided tape and then connect this together. So yeah. Oh gosh, if you have the door extension in like this, it might not fit. Well, I guess you can open this first, right? Plug it in, push that in, and then close it. Okay. Oh my gosh. If you do it like that, it will definitely fit. So let's connect it to the CFS. On the second hole, it comes with the adapter. So you just line it up and then twist it and it's locked in there. Oh, there we go. Once it's plugged in, it's not working. It just barely fits. Wow, everything is coming so well together here. Everything fit just so well. I'm impressed. Time to load it in. Okay, let me put one of this filament in there if it all works. Look at that. It doesn't work that well because it's cardboard, but it works. I don't like cardboard spool at all. Cardboard spool is so annoying. I hate cardboard spool, to be honest. There we go. That one works so much better. Okay, everything seems to be going pretty well. Other than that filament, but they just keep getting stuck. Yeah, everything works. I don't have the file in there yet. It's really late, so I'm gonna go to bed right now, and tomorrow I'll do a print and see how this works. I'm really excited to do it, but I'm just so tired, so I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so I just make my own 3D slice and send it to the 3D printer, and hopefully it will print. So let's just see how this is gonna go. First print with the CFS. I cannot find the 3D Benchy file here, so I slice my own, so hopefully everything goes well. I kind of got that off a little bit, so later I'm gonna remove that. And okay, very interesting. It comes over here, hit it, home here, and then it stopped right here, and then it's gonna heat up to 230, and maybe it's just gonna start printing. I'm not quite sure. I thought it was gonna purge and then start printing like the K2 Plus printing, but there's no filament in there, and none of those are working. What? Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, that is really cool. I hate one thing. My thing here, my wire here sag so much. When it goes back, it keeps hitting it and keep knocking off the cover. Is there a way to make this not this saggy? Can anybody tell me how to make this not do this? Looks like my setup here works pretty nice. There, look at that, it purged. Okay, it's now doing the purge tower. It's working. The poop purge is working too. And yeah. Okay. It looks like my setup here works pretty nicely. I think this curve is not that curved. It curves, or almost a 180 degree angle curve, but it has more space. It has lots of space so that it can flow smoothly in there. If you want to put the CFS on top like this, make sure to print yourself one of these lid riser, and then just make a hole here or wherever you want to make a hole. Just make it there. Do it like this so that you can keep the lid on if you have limited space. This setup is really nice. Oh, and these have vents too, so you can just open them when you are doing TLA print. And first layer of the Benchy looks great. I will let this finish and update you guys later on. Okay, so I've been trying to print with the K1 Max and the CFS upgrade kit, but I keep getting this error all the time. Cutter issue, cutter might be jammed, please try again later, or please try again after resolving. I tried 3-4 times and it keeps having the same problem, so I think I might just gonna continue on the video and we'll try to solve this with a different video so that I don't drag this video out for way too long. I'm already behind so much schedule, so I'll just finish the video here, give my teeny tiny review, and then I'll do like a much in-depth review later on. Just okay. So here's what happened. The cutter did not work. It was jammed or something, and now it's clogged. You can hear that? It's clogged, but the 3D printer does not recognize that it's clogged. So I gotta do some unclogging, some troubleshooting, and let's see where it goes from there. Okay, so this is exactly what I thought might happen. Look at this. Because right here, there's no tube anymore. So 2-3 filaments like stuck in there. Exactly what I thought was gonna happen. Because when I think the film, when it cut the filament here, it just broke off or something. So I don't know, maybe I might reinsert a tube right here, but just make it like super small so that it just comes up to here. Okay, there we go. Little tube. So I'm gonna put it in there like that, and it fits all the way in there. You don't really want that to be over this plastic piece because it's gonna cut into that piece. So I make that shorter, got in there, and it cuts fine. Hopefully, let's test it out. I've been playing with the K1 Max CFS upgrade kit for a day now, and as you just saw there is a little bit problem that I encountered with. Well, first of all, I got the older version of the K1 Max. I heard that the newer K1 Max has a different type of nozzle, has a different type of extruder. I don't know, I have not got one of those, but yeah, maybe it's a little bit different. But for mine, it has the tube, and that's where the problem kind of arises. So for my version of the K1 Max, there's a blue tube inside the extruder guiding the filament to the nozzle. But maybe the newer version does not have it. So if you have the new version, let me know if you have that or don't have that, because I think that might be the problem of why my cutting keeps getting jammed. Like, it can't really cut. I tried pushing my finger at it. When I push the cutter in, it does not pop out. It's like it's jammed or stuck in there, and I don't know, I tried 3 times, 4 times, and it just keep having the same result. So I'm not quite sure what to do now. Oh, and by the way, the CFS never dies because it's connected to a power source instead of the K1 Max or the K2 Plus, like how the K2 Plus works. If you turn off the 3D printer there, the CFS turns off. But for the K1 Max, the CFS never turns off because it connects to a different power source. So if you want to turn that off, you gotta unplug it from the CFS. But that's besides the point. It can print, but it just cannot do color change because of the cutting jam of my cutter. So I will have to figure that out. Other than that, the installation went smoothly. The guide is very easy to follow, and I hope you can do it too. And yeah, the top mount worked for the CFS. I can put it on top of the glass by printing that lid extension, guiding the filament through the back, instead of getting rid of the lid and then have to put the CFS on the side because limited space room. So this way works. So if you find another way that works just as well or even better, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know in the comments down below, is your cutter jamming too like mine? I don't know, it keeps jamming. That's the main problem right now. I need to figure that out so that I can do multicolored printing. And I also need to find a way to make my chain not sag so much, because when it goes back and purge, or when it goes back and do anything, it just go back, it just hit the chain, and then sometimes it shift one teeth and it has this layer shift, which is pretty bad. But I'll try to figure that out. Leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel because more amazing stuff like this is coming, and as always, keep on 3D printing.